I have the great pleasure and honor to introduce Congressman Joe Sestak to all of you tonight. Let me say that this is one heck of an impressive turnout here in the great downtown of Allentown. I'm so pleased to see so many people out here. This is a very good sign. Let me introduce to you our great Congressman and the next United States Senator, Joe Sestak.
Thank you, everybody. Don, thanks a lot. It's very much appreciated. And everyone here, thanks a heck for coming out this evening. Sometimes you sit around and you just wonder, boy, are we going to make it? Are we going to make it? Without a question, do we have to make it? You know, I always keep on my wall what Winston Churchill said. Sometimes it's not enough to do your best. Sometimes you have to do what's required. And if there's ever a moment that this nation is at a tipping point, I would argue, since World War II or the Great Depression, this is the moment. I think with 2 wars overseas and 1 here at home, this economic recession, that there's nothing more important that lays over us right now than the lack of trust in public officials. People have lost their faith in Washington, D.C. I think they've lost their faith in Harrisburg. Luzerne County, where kids were actually being sold for cash. You all know the stories. If there's anything I want to return down to at least Washington, D.C. is trust. That people can actually look someone in the eye, get a cut of their jib, and decide that, yeah, I want to trust that person. If you don't think that this nation doesn't have something to learn from its youth, come with me. Come on into an aircraft carrier, one that I commanded overseas. 5,000 youth live on an aircraft carrier. Their average age, 19 and a half. They run a nuclear reactor. They fix that plane and they launch you off and there's no questions asked. I think the youth of today are as good, if not better, than any generation. And let me tell you what those 19-and-a-half-year-old kids taught me. When a pilot gets into a plane, they turn on his or her engine. And then underneath the belly of that plane, where you can't see, they strap you to a catapult. And then they push a button. And off you go. You drop 20 feet, and if your engines are turning, into the night you'll go. Hershey Park has nothing over that ride. But sometimes just before they push that button, they say, shut down those engines. Get out of that plane. We're going to push it to the side. You're going on the next launch an hour from now. But no pilot worth their salt will ever turn off his or her engine until they know that somebody has gone underneath the belly of the plane where they can't see and unhooked them from that catapult. Because you know what? You shut off those engines, and those kids are great, but they do make mistakes, and they push that button with your engines off, and you're still sitting there, off you go. Drop 20, 50 into the water, never to come home. And then this young 19-and-a-half-year-old kid comes out on that deck. He or she goes under the belly of that plane and unhooks it from the catapult, and the pilot can't see. And that youth walks then in front of that plane and puts a very simple signal into the air like this and never moves until that pilot has shut off their engines, opened up the canopy, and gotten safely on deck. And that kid has said everything to me about what's most important in a public servant. Go ahead, trust me. I did my job, my responsibility. I unhooked you from that catapult. But you know what? If I did make a mistake, I'm also willing to be held accountable. And if you start going overboard to your death after you've shut off your engines because of some mistake I made, you're going right through me, because I'm going overboard with you to my own death. Heaven forbid a United States Senate that would be that accountable for the votes that they know have to be taken for the health the education, the economic security of our people. When I come back 6 years from now, I hope you hold me that accountable. I want you to be able to say, you know, I didn't always agree with Joe Sestak, but he was willing to be accountable for what he said he would do. I want to be this president's strongest ally in making sure those policies that every citizen needs, right? We make sure it happens. Do I need you? Darn right I do need you. And I can't win without you. I need you to volunteer, and I need you to man that office. I need you to convince Democrats that you don't vote just once for change. You fight for change every day. I need you all. Please help volunteer, and thank you very much. Thank you.